The time has come. After months of silence, speculation, betrayal, and chaos, Roman Reigns has finally returned. But he didn't come back as the same tribal chief. He came back changed. Humbled. Vengeful. And more dangerous than ever before. And what's even more shocking is who he brought back with him. The man who used to be the face of comedy in WWE, the man everyone underestimated, R-Truth, has now aligned himself with Roman Reigns in a shocking twist that has left the WWE Universe in complete disbelief. Together, they've sent a terrifying warning to the WWE locker room. The OTC is here. The ones that conquer. And Seth Rollins wasn't spared from their furious beatdown. Let me tell you what happened on Monday Night Raw that has the entire wrestling world talking, and more importantly, what it means for the future of WWE as we know it. Because what we witnessed wasn't just another storyline twist, it was the systematic destruction of everything WWE has built over the past year. R-Truth, the man who spent years being the comedic relief, the guy who everyone laughed at when he confused the Money in the Bank ladder match with other events, has transformed into something we never saw coming. Gone are the days of innocent confusion and accidental comedy. What we're looking at now is a calculated, methodical, and absolutely ruthless individual who has aligned himself with the most dangerous man in WWE. But here's what's really going to make your blood boil: WWE management saw this coming. They knew Roman was planning something big. They knew R-Truth was evolving beyond his comedic character. And they did absolutely nothing to prepare the roster for what was about to happen. The result? Seth Rollins, one of WWE's biggest stars, was left broken and bloodied in the middle of the ring while Roman and R-Truth stood over him like conquering warriors. And the worst part? This was just the beginning. The attack on Seth Rollins wasn't just a physical assault. It was a psychological warfare campaign designed to send a message to every single wrestler in the locker room. Roman and R-Truth didn't just beat down Rollins, they systematically dismantled everything he represented. They started with his pride. Roman grabbed a microphone and spent 5 minutes listing every single failure in Rollins' recent career, every championship loss, every moment where Seth had come up short when it mattered most. The crowd was uncomfortable. You could feel the tension through the screen as Roman's words cut deeper than any physical attack could. But R-Truth, and this is where it gets truly disturbing, R-Truth was the one who delivered the most vicious psychological blows. The man who used to make people laugh was now making them cringe with discomfort as he detailed exactly how he had been studying Rollins' weaknesses, planning this moment for months. "You think I was confused all those years?" R-Truth said, his voice carrying a coldness that no one had ever heard from him before. "I was learning. I was watching. I was waiting for the right moment to show everyone who I really am." Then came the physical assault. And it wasn't just brutal, it was personal. Every punch, every kick, every devastating move was calculated to inflict maximum damage not just to Rollins' body, but to his reputation and his standing in WWE. But the real gut punch came after the beatdown. As Seth Rollins lay broken in the ring, Roman Reigns made an announcement that shook the foundation of WWE to its core. He declared that due to the unsafe working conditions, and the lack of respect shown to him and his new partner, he was demanding that all current champions prove their worth. The implication was clear: Roman and R-Truth, now calling themselves the OTC, the ones that conquer, were positioning themselves as the judge, jury, and executioner of WWE's championship picture. They weren't just challenging for titles, they were demanding that champions justify their positions or face the consequences. Seth Rollins, still reeling from the attack, was given an ultimatum: relinquish his championship opportunities voluntarily, or have them taken from him by force. The crowd was in shock. WWE officials were scrambling. And social media was exploding with outrage from fans who couldn't believe what they were witnessing. What happened next was even more shocking. Seth Rollins, pride swallowed, dignity crushed, actually began to consider the ultimatum. You could see the internal struggle playing out on his face as he weighed his options: fight back and risk further destruction, or submit to the OTC's demands and preserve what was left of his career. The segment ended with Rollins dropping his microphone and walking away from the ring, leaving everyone to wonder whether he would actually comply with Roman and R-Truth's demands or find the courage to fight back. The backstage interviews that followed were absolutely devastating to watch. WWE's biggest stars, people who had been confident and outspoken just hours before, were now visibly shaken by what they had witnessed. The psychological impact of the OTC's message was immediate and profound. Cody Rhodes, when approached by backstage reporters, could barely put together a coherent response. "I don't know what we just saw," he said, his voice trembling with a mixture of anger and fear. "But I know that everything has changed. Everything." Other wrestlers were even more direct in their concern. Kevin Owens openly questioned whether WWE management had lost control of their own programming. "How do you let something like this happen?" he demanded. "How do you let two people terrorize your entire roster without any consequences?" But perhaps the most chilling reaction came from some of the younger wrestlers who had looked up to Seth Rollins as a role model and mentor. Seeing him broken and humiliated by the OTC had shattered their confidence and their belief in the system they had worked so hard to succeed in. The backstage area felt like a war zone, with wrestlers huddled in groups, speaking in hushed tones about what the OTC's emergence meant for their own careers and safety. The sense of fear was palpable, and it was clear that Roman and R-Truth had achieved exactly what they set out to do, establish themselves as the most feared partnership in WWE. But the night wasn't over. In a move that felt like salt in an open wound, the OTC targeted the one person who represented everything good about WWE's past and future, John Cena. The 16-time world champion, who had been preparing for his retirement tour, suddenly found himself in the crosshairs of Roman and R-Truth's campaign of terror. The attack on Cena wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. Roman and R-Truth interrupted what was supposed to be a celebratory segment honoring Cena's legendary career, turning it into a nightmare that no one saw coming. "Your time is up," Roman told Cena, the words carrying a double meaning that sent chills through the audience. "Not just your time in the ring, but your time influencing this company, your time being the face that people look up to, your time mattering at all." R-Truth's contribution was even more disturbing. He systematically dismantled Cena's legacy, pointing out every controversial moment, every questionable decision, every time Cena had held back younger talent. It was character assassination on a level that WWE had never seen before. The segment ended with Cena, bloodied and broken, being forced to announce his retirement not as a celebration of his career, but as a surrender to the OTC's dominance. The symbolism was clear. If they could break John Cena, they could break anyone. The fallout from the OTC's Night of Terror has been unlike anything WWE has ever experienced. Social media exploded with outrage from fans who felt that the company had gone too far in its storytelling. The hashtag #SaveWWE began trending worldwide as viewers expressed their disgust with the direction of the programming. But here's what's really infuriating: WWE management's response has been complete radio silence. No apologies, no explanations, no assurances that they're going to address the chaos that Roman and R-Truth have unleashed. They're treating this like it's just another storyline, when in reality it's a complete breakdown of everything that made WWE special. The wrestlers themselves are reportedly furious backstage. Multiple sources have confirmed that there were heated discussions between talent and management about the direction of the company and the safety of the performers. Some wrestlers are even considering their options outside of WWE, feeling that the company has become too dangerous and unpredictable. The championship picture has been thrown into complete chaos. With Seth Rollins' status uncertain, John Cena forced into retirement, and the OTC positioning themselves as the ultimate authority, no one knows what's going to happen next. The sense of unpredictability that should be exciting has instead become a source of genuine anxiety for fans and performers alike. What's happening in WWE right now goes beyond just storylines and entertainment. This is about the soul of professional wrestling, about the values that the industry represents, and about the responsibility that comes with having a platform as large as WWE's. Roman Reigns' transformation from tribal chief to leader of the OTC represents everything that's wrong with modern wrestling. The idea that might makes right, that intimidation and violence are acceptable ways to solve problems, that respect must be taken rather than earned, these are dangerous messages to send to millions of viewers around the world. R-Truth's evolution from comedic relief to calculating villain is perhaps even more disturbing. It suggests that everything we thought we knew about these characters was a lie, that the entertainment we've been enjoying for years was actually a setup for something much darker and more sinister. The treatment of legends like John Cena is particularly offensive. These are the people who built WWE into what it is today, who sacrificed their bodies and their personal lives for the entertainment of fans around the world. To see them humiliated and broken by the OTC is not just bad storytelling. It's disrespectful to the history and legacy of professional wrestling. This is where we, as fans, need to take a stand. WWE is counting on us to just accept this direction, to continue watching and supporting a product that has lost its way. But we have the power to demand better. We have the power to hold WWE accountable for the content they're producing. The silence from WWE management is deafening, but our voices as fans can be louder. We need to make it clear that we won't tolerate the systematic destruction of everything we love about professional wrestling. We need to demand answers, demand changes, and demand respect for the performers and the legacy of the industry. Social media campaigns, organized boycotts, and direct communication with WWE executives are all tools at our disposal. But they only work if we use them together, if we present a unified front against the direction the company is taking. The wrestlers themselves are looking to us for support. They can't speak out publicly without risking their careers, but they need to know that fans are behind them, that we understand the difference between entertainment and exploitation. This isn't just about one storyline or one night of programming. This is about the future of WWE and the future of professional wrestling as a whole. If we don't take action now, if we don't demand better, then we're complicit in the destruction of everything we claim to love about this industry. The time for passive consumption is over. The time for action is now. Let your voice be heard, let your opinion matter, and let WWE know that we won't stand for this anymore. The OTC may think they've conquered WWE, but they haven't conquered us. And that's where their real fight begins. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.